All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to get after it. It's predictions time. Way too early on a Monday. The Georgia Bulldogs headed to Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee for a 3:30 kickoff, college game day in town. Boys, the key to the matchup right here for me, which quarterback and wide receiver core can actually win downfield? It's the major key in this matchup every single time they play. Yes, both football teams are being committed to the run. Yes, you've got to be able to stop the run or successfully run the football to win this matchup, but ultimately this game will be decided by the players on the outside actually making plays and being explosive, in my opinion. And I think Georgia's got the edge for this reason. I like their wide receivers versus Tennessee's young corners. I like Georgia's veteran corners versus Tennessee's lack of experience in big time football games at the wide receiver position. I do like Tennessee's quarterback advantage in this game. However, give me the weapons and the matchup for Georgia. I think they got the edge on the outside.
My biggest key to this game is whichever team stops to run the best. Because, again, that's what Georgia wants to do this year. That is, their bread and butter right now. They've shown that. They've got a lot of backs. They like to rely on those. And then for Tennessee, that's what opens everything up in the offense. And the biggest reason why Georgia's held the advantage in this matchup is because they can stop Tennessee's run with light boxes. If that continues for Georgia in this game, I like their chances. But if Georgia cannot run the ball offensively in this game, I like Tennessee's chances. So whoever does that the best, I think that's going to be the team that wins.
I'm right there with you on the deep shots, Brooks. Tennessee has had these opportunities pretty much under the entire Heupel era. They have not been able to connect on them because Georgia's DB play has been that good. Their interior defensive line play has been that good and has made that launch point so crowded for these quarterbacks that it's been inaccurate when these receivers do get open. If Joey Aguilar and Tennessee can hit 2 or 3 of these, it's going to be a completely different game because they will actually be able to score points and put Georgia in a situation where they feel like they have to struggle and strain on offense. So, yeah, that's the big key for me.
The X factor for me, boys, isn't an individual player. It's an individual matchup. I really think Tennessee, based off what I've seen through 2 weeks, I wouldn't be attacking Ellis Robinson. I wouldn't be attacking Daniel Harris. I wouldn't be attacking Dalen Everett. I'd be attacking number 8, Jonel Aguero, in the slot with Mike Matthews, okay? I think that matchup between Jonel Aguero and Mike Matthews, who ultimately wins it and comes out on the back end and limits the amount of explosives, will depict the ultimate outcome of this football game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Tennessee's offensive line. I think that they've had good offensive lines. This one seems to be like it might be one of their better ones, but they just haven't been tested yet. And especially this matchup with Georgia's front versus Tennessee's front. If Tennessee can establish not dominance up front, but if they can just be consistent up front, I think that, again, that'll open up everything for them. So if Tennessee's offensive line can hold up, if they can buy time for Joey Aguilar to get these deep shots off, and if they can open up holes for Deshaun Bishop and Star Thomas, they're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, Joey Aguilar is my X factor. Look, Hendon Hooker couldn't connect on the deep shots. Joe Milton couldn't. We know Nico had trouble doing so. If Joey Aguilar can, at the very least, make Georgia go, oh no, we need to dedicate another body to the pass, Tennessee's run game is going to be able to speed up, and that's going to become a big problem offensively.
I thought the major key in that Hendon Hooker 2022 matchup was the fact that y'all got home so quickly in that matchup.
Yes.
Every time they had a free runner in the back end, and I believed Hendon was going to hit those.
Yeah.
And he did historically. That's why they were the most explosive team in college football. But y'all were hitting him so quickly in that football game. It's a major key in this one. How quickly can you get home? Because Aguilar's playing the position better than anybody else since Hendon, in my opinion, through 2 games.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
All right, unless it doesn't happen, I love this Georgia defense. I love these Georgia corners. I love this Georgia line of scrimmage play. Georgia keeps Tennessee out of the end zone. Field goals only on Saturday. You heard it here first. Unless it doesn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
That's a big unless it doesn't happen.
I'm telling you, I think this defense is special, man. And I'm setting myself up to be absolutely embarrassed because, hell, Josh Heupel scored 40-plus points in 54% of his games as a college football coach. So I'm setting myself up here. It could get ugly on Saturday. I don't think it will. Georgia's defense absolutely lights out on Saturday. You heard it here first.
I agree with you. I don't know if they're not going to keep him out of the end zone the whole game, but they are forcing 2 turnovers. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Joey does push it.
He does.
He does. He's going to give guys a chance. Could be dangerous.
It could flip it either way for sure on that one. I think, you know what? I'll play into it. I think Gunner has 2 45-plus yard touchdowns on Saturday. You heard it here first, unless it doesn't happen.
Big Gunner. Big Gunner wanna on the road. You'll love to see it. Hey, let's map it out. You know the deal around here. If you've been listening to this network around here with regards to this football game and this matchup, Kirby Smart versus Josh Heupel, I am a I don't believe it unless I see it type of predictor. Give me Georgia. I will not pick Josh Heupel against Kirby Smart until it happens. Give me Georgia in a rock fight, 24-17. Ladies and gentlemen, an absolute death march to close this football game in the fourth quarter. Georgia spent all offseason talking about being physical. Georgia's talked all offseason about stopping the run and running the football. It's what wins this football game on the road in Neyland Stadium, 24-17. Give me the Dogs.
Yeah, I think with what I've seen from this defense on film so far, with how good the front looks, with how good your linebackers are, and especially with how good all of your corners look. I mean, typically you might have 2 or 3 good ones. Georgia has 4 really good ones that they've relied on for the entire season. So I think that plays perfectly into what they want to do against Tennessee. They feel like that they can cover you, and they feel like they can stop the run with light boxes. I think they're going to be able to do that with this defensive personnel that they have. I think it's a tight football game, though. I don't think that there's going to be a team that pulls away in this one. I think it's just going to be a bit of a back and forth until the very end. And I think Georgia's going to get a late score to put them ahead. I have Georgia winning this one 27-21.
Wow, that's pretty close to what I have. In the last 4 matchups against Josh Heupel, Tennessee has always scored first, whether it be field goal or touchdown. Georgia has then come back at some point with an onslaught of double-digit unanswered points. It's happened in every single game. I think that's kind of similar to what you're going to see here. The only difference is I don't know if you get up on this Tennessee team, they're going to stay down. I think they have the opportunity to be explosive enough to score points in this game. I think it's going to be a very back and forth, 2 different types of stylistically matches. I think you're going to go through the first half and say, wow, Georgia has, other than these 2 or 3 plays, stifled Tennessee's offense completely. Meanwhile, they've really marched the ball methodically down the field, and yet it's a 1-score game here. I think it's that way the entire way. Here's the difference, though. I trust Kirby Smart in these situations. I trust his coaching, the record, the fact that he hasn't allowed a Josh Heupel offense to score more than 20 points or reach the 20-point threshold alone says that he knows what he's doing against this. I think Tennessee's got the weapons to score more points. I do trust Georgia in this game, though. I have them 27-20 Dogs win.
We all have it being a fourth quarter fist fight.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be so close.
This one's going to be a tough football game for Georgia if they come out alive. I'm telling you, you're going to have a hard time keeping me from talking about Georgia being a real national championship stamped contender. If they get out of that football game, like I think, 24-17 running the rock, they gonna beat a lot of football.
No, here's an interesting side conversation a little bit, because you talked about how you think that Tennessee's going to run man coverage, and now there are obviously things that Tennessee can do to stop this, but that could very well open up some big scramble plays for Gunner if they're just locked on. And now they could put a spy, they could do all those things. Like, there are plenty of ways to stop that.
I think as we enter SEC play, I don't think Gunnar Stockton's outrunning Arian Carter.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as we get into that area, and they don't even have to spy him. It's like cover one robber. The robber's going to run him down. But what it does do, Jonathan, is instead of 3rd and 9, because we got sacked on 2nd and 4, you're in 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a total different ball game, because now we can actually run read option. We can run the ball. We have everything. We can get into a play action pass under center.
It could be 4-down territory for us.
Yeah, it's 2-down territory. It's total different math. And I think, again, that's something that's beneficial. The reason why Gunnar is playing is because he's continuing to keep them inefficient downs and not turning the ball over while still going through the growing pains.
Yeah.
I think that's good. We watch a lot of football around here, guys. There's some really bad quarterback play around college football. Really bad quarterback play right about now. One of them's making $2.5 million down there in Gainesville and ain't playing good football right about now. Yours is making $250,000 and he's playing on time, and I just got to get him to trust himself just a little bit. That's it. And I got a top 5 defense and one of the best running games, we think, in the SEC right about now.
No doubt.
I do think a caveat to add, though, is this is Gunnar Stockton's first road start.
100%, dude. I mean, I was there in Auburn. I was there 2 years ago with 2 all-pros playing on the offensive side of the football, and I watched it.
Yeah.
Like, we know what it looks like. The good news is I think you're not going to get turned into one-dimensionals Like if you are, when you got turned one-dimensional against Carson or with Carson back there, it was, hey, they're throwing the football. Like you get one-dimensional here, they're rolling over us in the run game. Now, the big concern is, what if they jump on top of you?
Yeah.
What if they do get up to a 14, 17 point lead? Like that becomes worrisome.
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe something clicks for Gunner.
Yeah. Maybe that's what pushes him to that point.
Yeah.
Of, well, now it's go time. Like
and
there's no option
for him, and now it's just like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
I thought I knew, now I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I had another point I was going to make, but now I can't think of it. Oh, but also to the point of this is Gunner's first road start. It's also Joey Aguilar's first time playing he might have played one at his time at App State, but this is first
Clemson.
He got Clemson. First time playing SEC defense.
I think he threw 4 picks, but he got Clemson.
Oh, he got Clemson there.
Hey, by the way, I asked Kirby about Aguilar, and he can't say it, but I think he agrees based off the compliments he threw at the guy. This is the best quarterback they've had since Hendon.
Yeah.
By far.
I would agree with that for sure.
Or at least he's playing the best football.
He's definitely the most consistent.
Through 2 games.
Yeah, through 2 games, he's been the most consistent quarterback that they've had since Hendon.
Yeah, he's actually, he's playing quarterback.
Yeah.
You know,
it's amazing what happens when you do that in that offense.
Yeah. Hey, we got a lot of content. What's up? You got something for me?
Before you cut off, he's the most experienced quarterback since Hendon.
Yeah.
Joe Milton was getting starts here and there up until then, and then was a full-time starter. Nico was practically a freshman. I mean, Joey Aguilar's got, 3 seasons of App State football under his belt beforehand, so it
2.
makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Hey, that's our show for tonight. We appreciate y'all for being here. A lot of people watching right now. Do me a favor before you leave. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. All right. We appreciate you for being here. If it was your first timer, make sure you're subscribing to the network. We're here every Monday through Thursday, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, doing great stuff. I got a defensive film study coming out for you guys tomorrow. We're going to take a look at that Tennessee defense. It's a good one. They be wreaking havoc. Fun to watch. We'll see you. Hey. We'll take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts, share with your friends, and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper.